Welcome into the era of AI. Hello there and welcome. In this video, I'm going to teach you a couple of advanced techniques inside of Canva and Photopea to create some incredible art. So if you remember before, we have created these types of, designs. Now, by the way, if this design, have a clear look at it. If I move from this one to this one, you can see that on the other one, the eyes are quite sharp. We can see them quite sharp and we can make the eyes up. As for the other ones, the eyes have actually blended completely with their backgrounds. So I'm going to teach you a way that you can, use the blending feature, except for a way to keep certain things intact, such as the eyes. And here's a clear example that depicts that. For instance, in this case, we have clearly blended the person with the background, except for we have kept the eyes really apparent. So we haven't let's just say touch the eyes are still over there. And not only the eyes, we can pretty much do the same thing with also the eyes and the mouth and the nose, whatever it is you want to do. So here is also another example of what we're going to be viewing in this lecture, which is this blend feature at the bottom, which makes it seem like the person is actually blended with that picture in the background, and also putting text behind a character. So in order to create designs like these, it's actually not that difficult. It's not very difficult. And of course, I'm going to teach you those hacks. So without further ado, we need to go right now and get right into it, shall we? Let's go. Now, if you're wondering, well, what or where are we going to use what you're teaching us here for reasons of copyright, I'm showing you this Titanic picture. So you see the in here in this Titanic picture, at the bottom there is the Titanic. At the top, there's the picture of Kate Winslet, or I don't remember. Yeah, Kate Winslet. There it is. And Leonardo DiCaprio. And both of them are actually perfectly blended in with the background underneath them. Almost seems like they're blended over there. Now, how can you do something like this? Well, of course, if we check this one out as well, it's pretty much the same concept. I have just shown you what they do. So from now on, creating movie posters for you will be a breeze. Let's get right into it. So first thing is first, you would need a couple of images. Now we're going to start off with the image of the guy. So I'm going to go here back to Photopea. I'm going to do the first example, then we're going to do the rest. I'm going to open from my computer, look for the picture of the guy. So here I've actually opened the picture of the guy, except for the fact that this is a edited version. There's the one I want. And now let me go ahead over and add the other image of the brick wall. So I'm dragging the image of the brick wall, placing it right there. And it's ultimately going to be here. And I'm going to drag it to the top, on top of this particular person. And now I can use the blend mode. Now, if you want to use overlay, go ahead, use it. I'm just going to keep actually using multiple ones to see which one. I think this one is pretty cool. So I'm going to leave it at this one. Now, let's say I want to show a little bit more of the eyes and the mouth and the nose. Now, I'm going to actually show the eyes and the mouth, right? Not the nose. In order for me to do that, here's the trick. First thing is first, I want you to click this particular brick wall and add a raster mask. Then, I want you to come over here to this lasso tool, click lasso select, and make sure this is set to unite. Then I want you to come over here and need you to select the eyes. Now select as much as you can select. Now I didn't make the selection perfectly, so let me do it again. It usually doesn't work the first time around, but there you go. Now I've made a selection. Now I'm going to make the second selection of the other part, the other eye. Once I've made that selection, it's good. And also now I'm going to make a selection of the mouth. So let me go ahead and make a selection of the mouth. So I'm making a selection of the mouth as well. Now I've selected multiple things. So now you're asking me, well, what should we do now? Well, click Edit, hover down here and click Fill. And I want you to fill this with a black color and click OK. And what that does is it actually gives you the result. Now, of course, if we want this to be, let's just say, looking better, what you can do is you can come over here and click on this Properties tab. And make sure that you come over here to the mask area, add some feathering. This way, we can show the elements, but in a way that actually makes it smoother. And now once you're done, you can click on this element here, export as PNG, and guess what? Now you're going to have a pretty good design of this particular person, almost making it seem like he's going to come off of a brick wall, or actually probably looking out of a brick wall. So this is a really interesting way of creating these types of blending or blend modes and blending. And just look at this. And that's in case you want to preserve certain parts of the person's characteristics. I think that this is a great way. We can still see his eyes. We can still see everything, but it looks like he's actually coming out of the screen. This is a very artistic picture. Now that we've done this, let's go and do the other one. The other one is going to take a little bit of work. So I'm going to go to canva.com here, and I want you to select a particular size of about 1000 by 1500. By the way, if you don't want to use Midjourney like I do, you can use the Canva image feature or image tool that generates images for you. Now, we're going to do this in layers. For that, go to Photopea, make sure you start all over. And we're going to start with the first layer. The first layer is going to be the background. So let's say we're making a movie that's called not the Titanic, but maybe the Titan, or I don't know. I mean, something, the same concept. Let's say it's a boat and there's two people that love each other and the boat is going to float. Now here, let's go to elements and let's look for a boat or Titanic itself. Why not? Pretty sure we can find a bunch of elements. So here, if we go to photos, there's a lot of pictures. So let's say, for example, that you may be interested in something like this, and you can see that this is not too bad. So I'm going to actually set this video or image as the background. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to edit this image and go to the adjustments feature, auto adjust it. So once I've auto adjusted this, here's what I can do. I can actually zoom out, double click, and I could actually grow this image a bit so that I can drag the boat a bit down to make the top part bigger. Now that you've done this, well, you can take a couple like these people. So for instance, these two people are actually doing the same Titanic pose. So I can click on this image right here. Let me try to find something a bit more different, maybe like this. Well, this is not the kind of picture I want. I'm looking for adults. Okay, so why not this? Yeah, I actually think this is good, but this is better because they're on the sea. So I'm going to click Edit Image, and I'm going to go here to the Background Removal option. I'm simply going to remove the background. Now copy this image, go to the second page, add it on the second page, and now going back to the first page and simply deleting this image. I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to actually move back or zoom out, take my image, place it here, and I'll make sure I make it bigger, but I'll make sure I place it somewhere around here. Now, once I've done that, I'm ready to start rolling. So I might, first of all, click Edit Image here. First of all, give it the treatment by adjusting it. Also, I'm going to scroll down, add some sharpness, clarity, saturation, some other colors. And now we have our image. Now, as far as the font is concerned, there's a platform called Creative Fabrica. It contains all kinds of very interesting fonts. So if you're interested in creating a great font, by the way, I no longer have an account with them, or I'm not logged in. But when I want fonts, I come here and I find any font I want. So if you're looking for, say, a metallic font, I could come over here and use one of these fonts. But I actually have a workaround. This workaround can only work for you for a short period of time until your credits actually, until you use up all of your credits. And this platform is none other than Adobe Firefly. So I'll leave the link to it in the resources, or you can just simply go ahead to firefly.adobe.com. And in my case, I'm actually going to go to this page, and I want to show you that you can actually create very special fonts with Adobe Firefly on the go. So you can imagine a font, bring it to existence, and use it. Now, if I scroll down here, if I click, now there's the text effects. This is what I want. So I'm going to click that text effect. And now it takes me back here. They quite changed the interface from what it was before, which is not that bad. But what I can do here is I can use this technique now to create some very interesting fonts. Now you could describe your font in this area. They give you access to describe what your font is all about. Well, first of all, they have to show me the text. Now there's the dummy text written somewhere. I'm going to click close. I'm not upgrading to the premium plan here. All right, so I'm going to click, well, text is already there, but if you want to add your own text, you just click here and add the text. Now, in my case, let's say that the movie is, all right, let's just say Titanic, you know. We're not stealing the Titanic movie. Now, I'm going to click and try to make this a little bit bigger than it is. Let's just try to make it cover the entire image. Now, this font that is applied to this is not the kind of font you want, so what we want to do here is we want to come to this text effects, click, and here you can describe what you want your font to be. So let's say I want my font to be, you know, some kind of crystal, white crystal font, white crystal, or not crystal, let's say white, you know, iceberg, and hit generate. You know, what's going to happen right now is going to take into consideration my text here, which says white iceberg, and it's going to try to apply a font that looks like an iceberg. So here, there it is. I don't think it's too bad, so I'm going to take it. Now, in order for you to take this, you can just click the download button over here and download. Now, by the way, it's not going to download as an image with no transparent background. That's the problem. But that's the problem of any free plan that you use. So in this case, this is a free plan, so I can't complain. But I have the pro plan in Canva, which allows me to take anything and actually remove the background off of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to drag this particular Titanic font right here, and I'm going to extract any background off of it by just simply clicking Edit Image and clicking on Background Removal option. And what that is going to do is going to remove the background and only keep the word Titanic. So that's really interesting. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually try to crop it like so, and then place it somewhere around here and make it bigger. This has to be bigger. Now this is bigger, but still I can make it look better by going to the adjustments, auto adjusting, scrolling down, adding some sharpness and clarity, you know, some saturation, some other different variety of colors, you know, maybe some of this. And you can see that now it's starting to look a little bit better. Right? Now we have everything ready. So we're going to start off, first of all, by downloading the first image. So I'm going to click over here on download. I'm going to download page number 1. By the way, you could name your file each time you're trying to download. I'm going to name page 1, the current page, at a PNG format, and download it with no transparent background. That is going to act as my basis image. Then we're going to actually come to Photopea. And by the way, one technique here, you can drag an image directly from here to Photopea, and it's going to open that image as a project without you really having to click open from computer. I see that it didn't work this time, so it's almost as if it almost seems as if Photopea is listening to me now and saying, you know what, I'm not going to work this time, just to make you look stupid. So here, as you can see, we have our image. Now we're just going to go ahead and download the second one, which is this image of the lady. And one thing, stop. Big disclaimer. This image of the two people, it has to have transparent background. You've been warned. So go ahead and make sure that you download it with a transparent background. Otherwise, this is not going to work. And I'm saying this because some people might download it with the background. They might complain, well, it didn't work for me. So download it with a transparent background if you want this to work. All right. So here, I'm going to actually go back into Photopea, and I'm going to click right here. And I'm going to simply go click the downloads button and drag this right here. And this should be above the Titanic image, right? Or the supposed Titanic. It's not actually the Titanic itself. It's just probably an image. And you can see here that the way this looks now is not so cool, isn't it? Because it doesn't look, from a standpoint, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look right. We can make it look right, though. So I want you to click on this particular image and add a raster mask. Once you've done so, make sure you come over here to the colors on this side and set this as white. Click OK. Now it's from white to black. And now click here on this gradient tool. And the gradient tool shows white to black because we changed this one to white. And now you can just take that gradient tool and just move it slightly like so. And guess what it's going to do? It's actually going to blend. Now, if you don't like the way this is blended, you can blend it some more. You know, you can just hide some more. You know, maybe like this. I think that this is a bit interesting, you know. We try it again, you know, from this side as well. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to select from here. And I think that this is good now. So once you get to a specific effect that you like, I'm not sure. That one is not bad though, because it blends them with the nature actually. Let me try something like this. You know, this is not bad, but let me try it from this angle. Let me try it like this. Oh no. Let me try it this way. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to keep it like this. We don't have all day. So now that we've basically created this, what we can do is the following. We can come back here and download this particular font. Again, this one, it has to be downloaded with a transparent background. So I'm going to come over here, unselect everything, select page number 3, click transparent background right here, and hit the download button. Now, once I do that, I'm going to go back to Photopea, and all we need to do is to basically drag and drop this right here. All right, drag it again. Make sure it is over there. Now, when you drag it right here, it's actually going to be at the front. So, and that's not what we want. We obviously want the Titanic to be behind. But first of all, click on the selector tool and make sure that you move it ever so slightly right here so that we can read it. And now you can move this layer below the other layer, and now you can see it says Titanic. I don't think you can do this in Canva. So now I'm going to click on File, Export As, PNG. Now you can place something behind a person's back in Canva, but you cannot use this blend feature like this. Now I'm going to click the download button. I actually don't really like the blend feature here that much, but the image that we have is not a full image. It doesn't show the characters as a full characters, you know, standing. So that's what caused this. But, you know, other than this, it doesn't look too bad, you know. So I'm going to go over here and open up the image to just view it. And I think it does look interesting, right? You know, it combines multiple things. And if you look at most of the trailers, they use this technique. So, for instance, if we go to Google, I can show you, for example, there's a specific movie which is called Dune. Let me look for the Dune movie poster. That's it. This is the one. If I click this, for instance, notice what happens is that they're using that blend feature. So you have this character, they use that blend feature on him, so they make him look like he's buried in the sand. They used it on this background, they used it on this person, on this person here. They used it on practically everything here in the movie poster. And this is, generally speaking, a technique that is used a lot. So for example here, watch what happens. They're also using it here, and they're also using it here. So they have two backgrounds, one which shows the desert, one which shows that, and they're using the blend feature. So basically, it is something that you will definitely find very useful. And I hope that you have basically enjoyed this so far. Wishing you the best as always, Passive Income Gen Z, and signing out.